Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. It's from a guy, he's 28 years old. He's going to share his story, how things definitely went south with his girlfriend, and how he ultimately kicked her out of his place when she pushed him too far. You're going to see in this story, guys, that like so many stories before, everything in the beginning was wonderful. They were dating 2 years. She was living with him at his apartment, or at least most of the time. And then real life started to take place. You're going to see that this guy is rightly so on his grind, and he started really working on his purpose to improve himself and move up in his company. And he told his girlfriend, as you're going to see, that he needed to take a couple months to really focus on studying and do what he had to do, so he wasn't able to spend as much time with her as she was used to. And as you can imagine, like a typical gal nowadays, since he wasn't there to give her all the attention and validation 24/7, she had to get someplace else, and took it really personally that, God forbid, he wasn't there to spend time with her all the time. And she was disrespecting him and all that. And this guy learned a very important lesson in this story about when it comes to women and attention validation, how they obviously can't handle it without it. And there are some that right then and there will certainly go to get other places if they aren't getting it. Also, you're going to see, guys, in this story, why I tell you all the time, you need to be with your girlfriend for a very long time, years, if you're even considering getting married, which, you know my opinion on that. And the reason is that you need time with her to see real life situations impact your relationship, how she handles them, what she's like. Does she handle in a mature adult manner, or does those situations show her true colors, that she's really a selfish jerk, amongst many other things, or deceitful, or passive aggressive? That's why you need to do it, and you're going to see in this story. Also, you're going to see here that how some women aren't going to like it when you're on your grind. I tell you guys all the time, you got to be on your grind. You got to be pursuing your goals, your ambitions. That's number one. The girlfriends are dead last. And you're going to see also, guys, some women don't like that, and they will end it with you, or make the situation where eventually it does come to an end. And for you relationship guys, you need to be aware of that. And that you being on the grind will be a great way to see if this woman's worth keeping around or not, and how she handles it. And some, you may not like that for your relationship guys, because she may have a problem with you being on the grind, but you have to understand that. And at the end of the day, it's more important for a guy to be on his grind, his purpose, as opposed to making her his purpose, because you know what happens in those stories when they do. But anyhow, guys, I'm going on here quite a bit here, and this is a very good story, as you will see as you watch this. So it starts off, he says, hello, SSM. I used to think that the stories in your channel only happen in the West, or due to very unfortunate men. But I now realize that because of how women are today, it can happen to anyone. How many times have I said this isn't just about women in the United States or the West? This is all over the world. What I talk about doesn't make a difference where in the world you are, your culture, your religion, whatever. Women are women and men are men. Human beings are the same all over the world. So even if you think this is a bunch of nonsense, try it out where you live and just see, watch what happens. He says here, today I want to share my story with you to hopefully entertain a couple people, but more importantly to warn them of the dangers of letting your women become too close to other men. Well, there's plenty of other lessons in this story other than just letting your women become close to other men. A lot more, dude, but that's one to add to it. This just happened recently, though the story goes back to a couple months. So I'm not really sure if my story's over, but enough has happened to warrant an email to you. He says, so I'm a 29-year-old male, and I've been dating this girl named Rhea, a 28-year-old female, for a couple of years now. We met during college, and I like how all your videos start, everything was great. If I had $1 for every time I heard that one. I work with offshore clients online while she works in management in a food franchising place. We make similar money, but since her father owns a big stake in her company, she makes a tad bit more to me due to her being in a high position. Rhea has always wanted me to come work for her company, but I always refuse because I believe that business and romance are like oil and water. Yes, very wise. Do not go work with your girlfriend or your wife or anything like that in the same place. You got to have your thing. She's got to have hers. Very smart, dude. Our issue started to happen when I started chasing a promotion, which I eventually got. I told her in advance that for a couple months I would need to focus solely on work because this promotion could change the trajectory of my career. Pay attention to this, guys. He made it abundantly clear. This promotion will change things. Game changer. Helping him make more money, more status, things usually women like. But what do they like more? Attention and validation. And by the way, you're going to notice, guys, this girl is spoiled. She works at the company that her dad is a major stakeholder, okay? And you're going to see that she is definitely spoiled, is used to getting her way, and those are the ones you want to avoid like the plague. And you'll see more as I get into this story. He said here, Rhea said no problem, as I thought she knew what it was like to work long hours for a promotion. But I was wrong. 1 week, literally 1 week of us having little communication, and she starts complaining and nagging about everything to everyone. In other words, God forbid for 1 week you weren't around all the time to be with her and go out and maybe chit-chat with her on the phone or Facebook or texting, whatever. God forbid she's not getting the usual flow of validation and attention, and there's already problems after 1 week. Wait till you see 2 months of this. So much for a gal being supportive of you and your goals and your grind. Rhea and I talked things over to try to smoothen things out, but since I was dedicated to multiple projects, I just couldn't spend more time with her. She even asked me to quit my job on the spot and just work for her company. And I refused. She would snob me in my own apartment. Number one, that's your apartment, so she shouldn't be talking down to you. And if she has an issue, she can pack her shit and leave. Go live with her mom and dad. And number two, of course, immediately quit your job to go work for the company that her dad essentially is an owner of. That's not very masculine to me. And I guarantee you that if you didn't pursue this promotion, she'd be complaining probably that you're not ambitious enough. Guarantee that would happen. I had to deal with a very chaotic home life while trying to finish my project in time. Well, that partially was on you, man, because you obviously weren't laying down the law enough with her. And I'm being fair here. Because believe me, if you had laid down the law with her, one of two things would have happened. Either she would have shut the hell up and submitted, or two, you kick her ass out. And you're going to see, guys, in this story, she's not on the lease. Things changed when a new guy entered the office. Let's call him Ryan. Ryan was best friends with a guy named Chester and was in the same department as Rhea. So a little backstory, Chester is, according to Rhea, an unattractive, fat loser sort of guy, and Rhea hates working with him. But ever since Ryan came along, Chester and Rhea have somehow become best friends. I was too busy to notice it back then, but I should have seen the red flags and put a stop to it. But again, I was extremely busy with my purpose. Yes, you were, and that was the right thing, brother. The only thing that you went wrong in, mainly, is that you weren't putting her in her place and calling her on her BS when she was being a little drama queen because she wasn't getting enough attention from you like she was before. A man's purpose comes first, and if a woman, your girlfriend, isn't supportive of that, she's toast. Especially when you're young, because the choices you make, guys, when you're young, particularly in your late teens and your 20s, is going to set the course how your life goes. Is it worth messing up your great potential and earning capability for some chick? Really? Take it from the guys that are older, that are in their 40s and 50s, have lived. You guys in the comment section, you all know what I'm talking about. Is it worth it for some piece of ass? No. So, she's now found replacements for attention. He says, so eventually my workload became lighter and I'm finally in the closing stretches with my promotion dawning. I try to invite Rhea on a celebratory dinner, but she refuses, telling me that I should feel what she felt for months and I had ignored her. Okay. You made it clear from day one. For a couple months, girlfriend, I'm going to have to spend more time studying and doing what I got to do to get the promotion. But when that's done, things can go back to normal. She didn't like that. Now she wants to punish you because you were ignoring her. It's not like you were hanging out with other chicks or anything like that. So what does this show you? She is selfish. She's self-centered. She's spoiled. She's passive-aggressive. These are not good qualities to have in a girlfriend. And these are reasons to kick her ass to the curb. So Rhea is out every single night and comes back at insane hours, usually at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. In case you're wondering, Rhea does not need to come into work in the morning, as her father lets her come in the afternoon or any time that would fit her schedule so she could be more flexible. There you go. She's used to people letting her have her way. She's spoiled. Her dad lets her come to work whenever she wants. Newsflash, the rest of the working world has to be in, usually in the morning, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're out by 5 or 6. They're not coming in whenever they want. There are some situations nowadays it's a little more flexible depending on people work different shifts, but you know what I mean. But she's a spoiled a-hole, and she's used to getting her way all the time with people. It says here, I get suspicious, so I check her phone, and while I don't find any evidence of her cheating, I do find out she's always with Chester and Ryan. Chester and Ryan share an apartment, and she's always there either drinking or smoking you know what. I get pissed, and me and Rhea have a big fight. She says that the reason why she's even friends with Ryan is because I was a shitty boyfriend and how Ryan would treat her way better. Well, I'd be like, well, you know what? Don't pack your shit. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, and go have a great time with Ryan. We're done. And I'd change the locks, and I would say, that's it. Don't ever call me again. Because you've proven every step of the way since I've been trying to get this promotion that you're not a good girlfriend. Adios. Go hang out with Ryan. But it wasn't quite there yet. Rhea tried to say that she loved me. She wanted to hurt me and put me through what I deserve. What you deserve? So she's deliberately doing this. Get rid of her. How she wanted to cheat with Ryan but didn't because of his morals. Things turned ugly and she was trying her best to hurt my feelings, but I kept up a stone face. Yeah, don't get all emotional and worked up because that's what she wants. I told her she needed to leave my apartment ASAP. Thank the Lord, bro. Rhea just scoffed and told me that I threw away the best thing I had in my life. Rhea's name isn't on the lease, so she moved out to Chester and Ryan's that very next day. Of course she went to go live with them. And yes, you should have called her on it when she was hanging out with those dudes, but, you know, the past is the past. But that's great. She's not on the lease. She's out of there. I was very pissed, and honestly, after knowing that she's been to Chester and Ryan's every night for about 2 months, I don't think I have any love for her anymore. Instead of sadness or depression, I feel like beating the crap out of both of them. The perfect opportunity came up when Rhea texted me that Ryan was coming to pick up the rest of her stuff. However, an unexpected twist happened that changed the whole situation for me. So, don't be that guy that has the girlfriend pulling all the BS and says, I'm going to go beat up those guys. Because you don't know what she's telling them. Okay, and you're going to see this in a second here. She's the real problem here, okay? And sure, they know you have a girlfriend. There's some element of issues there, okay? I agree with that, but go run out to beat up some guys that you don't know the whole story there, and you're going to see here real quick, guys. Not the best idea. And he says, the twist. So I cooled off my head and had an angry but proper talk to Ryan once he came over, just so he understood that what he did with my girlfriend was not cool whatsoever, and that I was going to report them to HR. Even though I felt like kicking his ass, cooler heads prevailed. Good, bro. Be a freaking adult about this. Anyway, when he got there, I didn't expect him to be apologetic, as if he practiced his apology beforehand. I asked him why he did it, and it turns out that it was Chester, the guy who Rhea claimed to hate from the very start, who'd been trying to get together with her, not Ryan. Ryan was let's just say, not into women, and was just helping out his friend to try to save Rhea from her abusive boyfriend. So, Ryan's not into chicks. And he's been trying to help her with her abusive boyfriend. In other words, this guy's girlfriend, Rhea, is making up a whole bunch of BS to these guys to obviously take her side and all that. Big shocker. I was kind of baffled at this whole situation, and as we got to talking, I think he understood that Rhea was just pulling a bunch of BS when it came to her stories about me. You think? Ryan was also disgusted that Rhea and Chester used him for their own ends and plans on staying with family to avoid them. Ryan apologized for his part in my relationship's end. He thought I was some kind of douche who slept around and used women due to Rhea's lies. There you go. Sounds like Ryan's a good guy here, okay? Obviously, he was lied to, misled, and all that. Ryan swears that he or Chester never slept with Rhea, but at this point, I don't really give a crap anymore. Even though I know Ryan was used by Rhea and Chester, I still think that guy is an a-hole for actively sabotaging my relationship. But at the same time, maybe this whole thing was a blessing in disguise since I got to see Rhea's true personality. Bro, this was a blessing in disguise. The silver lining to this whole thing. Yes, you spent 2 years with her. Okay, that's 2 years. That's a long time. But imagine this type of thing. Imagine you married her, and then you were focusing on your purpose and trying to get a promotion, and then this shit was going on when you're married. So this is a blessing in disguise, absolutely. And again, I wouldn't give the Ryan dude too hard of a time here, okay? Because again, she was the one filling his head with lies and BS. And sadly, in today's society, guys have been so brainwashed to just believe all women, right? I'm trying to do what I can to show guys that you want to question things before you go down that path. But so I wouldn't be too hard on the dude. But yeah, you dodged a big one, man. Now here's the fun part, guys. He says, so just 3 days ago, Rhea texted me asking if we could talk and that it was urgent. 3 days. 3 days, she couldn't live without you. I didn't reply, but I can already guess that everything has come out. I then hear from a couple of friends as she moved back in with her parents. Living with them was something she hated. And I can only assume that Ryan had confronted the both of them. I'm not really sure what happened with that Chester guy, but from what little I know, he is no longer with Rhea's company. Her dad probably used strings to get him transferred or fired. Lastly, Rhea's father has gotten in contact with me via email about a job offer and insisted that we talk about it over their weekly dinner. He says, me and Rhea used to have dinner often with her family, and I declined the offer. Good, bro. You're done with them. You're done with her. You're done with her family. Even if they're good to you, obviously be respectful, but she's out of your life. She is a piece of garbage. She's a spoiled brat. She's passive aggressive. She's not supportive. She's an attention whore. She's a liar. She's a deceiver. Accused you of being abusive. Need I to go on anymore? She's done. Have nothing to do with her. I do believe our friends are on her side since she's the extrovert who befriends everyone, and I'm usually the quiet type. And she's probably fed them some BS version of the story. You can bet your ass she's giving them BS. He says, I've already received text to give her another chance. So that's currently where I am right now. I don't think there will be any update to the story, but in case something big happens, I'll let you know. I know what I need to do, SSM, but man, the past couple weeks have hit me like a truck, and I'd like to hear the opinions you have and your viewers. Thank you. Well, I can say right now that there's no way this is over. This is going to continue because she'll keep reaching out to you because, again, she's a spoiled a-hole and she's used to getting her way. So in her mind, well, I can just bug him long enough and eventually he'll cave. But don't you dare. So this story isn't over, and I'll probably expect to get an update to this story probably within about 10 days to 14 days. It's usually how it goes. So if you have an update, send it over. Guys, if you'd like to hear an update to the story, comment away, let them know. But bro, you did dodge a bullet here, and I'm sorry to go through this shit. I'm sure it hurt, but you're probably more pissed than hurt. But she showed her true colors, and again, this is why I tell you guys, all you guys watching this, your relationship guys, you need to spend years with your girl before you get serious and make that and take the plunge if you want to do marriage. And you know my opinion about it, but if a lot of you are going to do it anyway. And by spending years with her, you see when real life situations arise how they handle it. You'll see their true colors. Obviously, like you said, the beginning was great and wonderful, but then there's one thing he made clear: for a couple months, I got to focus on the work and the grind and getting this promotion, and after that, we can go back to normal. 1 week. One weekend, she's already throwing a tantrum because she's not getting her way and not getting the attention and validation. So she's got to go be dishonorable and go get it from other places, make up a bunch of lies about him. And I don't buy this whole non-cheating thing. I'm sure there was something going on behind the scenes. I mean, statistically, it happened so much, it had to happen. Maybe not with Chester or Ryan, but it could be somebody else. But, bro, that shouldn't matter at this point because you're done with her. Well, she's passive-aggressive. She's spoiled. And, I mean, the list goes on and on. You do not need her in your life. But again, this real life situation helped you see her true colors. So lots of things to learn from this story, guys, for you relationship guys. But I think it's awesome that you kicked her ass out. That's awesome. Thank God she wasn't on the lease. And to end the story great, she's now obviously reaching out to you, trying to get a second chance. Nope, she's toast. Do not give her a second chance. You don't need that bullshit in your life. I want you now to focus on yourself. It's going to take you some time to get over her because you spent 2 years with her. Ain't going to happen overnight. Keep her out of your life. Focus on your goals. Now that you got the promotion, I want you to kick ass at that promotion. I want you, whatever your new position is in the company, do great at it. And then while you're doing great at that, you can have in the back of your mind how you can get the next promotion. And hang out with your bros, hit the gym, doing things to better yourself, save money, invest money, and that's what you can do, and you're going to be just fine. So, and take your time before you jump back into the dating market, because you're obviously a relationship guy, and use the lessons from this experience to help you the next time around. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think about it, and also let him know if there are any updates, which guarantee there will be. Let him know if you want to see updates. The more you guys let these guys know, they'll write back every time. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.